Today we'll be learning about an area of a square and a rectangle. When I hear the word area, what comes to my mind is how much space is covered on a shape or an object. And when we have area, we also have a formula. And let's start with a square. When we have a square, all sides are equal. These sides are parallel to each other. And for the formula, if we can please, for the formula is just length times length, because here is the same as here. So there's no length times width or base times height. So if you had, for example, a square that had the length of 4 centimeters, that's the only thing we know. What is the area of this square? Well, we know that the formula for the square is length here times length. So length times side length. So when we do that, it's the same thing. So we already know that everywhere is 4 centimeters. So when we do 4 centimeters, so we put the formula in, we multiply it, and then we put 4 centimeters times 4 centimeters. That will give us, thanks to the times table, so 4 times 1 equals 4. 4 times 2 equals 8. 4 times 3 equals 12. And 4 times 4 equals 16. So the answer is 16 centimeters squared. When we do have area, you might be thinking sometimes we have perimeter or something like that. When it comes to area, we always do the number of this side times this side. We don't do 4 times 2 or 4 times how many sides it has. We don't do that. And this 2 over here, it means squared. That shows that we are talking about area. So anytime you're doing an area problem, our answer will always have squared. And you always have to put the measurement of what it has. So square is pretty basic, pretty simple. But do we know other areas? Do we know other shapes? We have a rectangle, as I said, we'll learn today's video. Is a rectangle similar to a square? No, it's not. A rectangle, actually, is pretty different from a square. They're both quadrilaterals, which means 4-sided shapes. But how they are drawn are different. A rectangle has two sides that are equal to each other. But for a square, these sides are all parallel. Rectangle, not so much. So when we look at it, we see that a rectangle has 2 parallel sides. One here and one here. But for a square, all sides are equal, so we don't have any 2 or 3 parallel sides. So our formula for a rectangle is way different from a square. The formula for our rectangle is length oh sheesh, I'm not reading this well. Length times width. When we have a rectangle, you might be thinking, which one's length, which one's width? But when you hear the word length, when I hear the word length, what comes to my mind is the longest side. So, if we're looking for the longest side, we should see that here is the length. So these sides are both parallel to each other. And then width when it comes to my mind, it's just like the shortest side. So we have here and here are parallel to each other. They're both widths. So if I gave an equation saying Henry wanted to make a fence around for his backyard. He needs to know what the length and the width is. So the length is 8 centimeters and the width is 4 centimeters. If he needs to calculate the total area, what is the area for the fence around? What is the area for how much space is inside? So we should know that, the length was 8 centimeters, or 8 meters, we should say. And then we say here, it's 4 centimeters. So obviously we're going to do it to the same sides. 4 centimeters here, or meters. I'm going to keep saying centimeters, sorry. And 8 meters here. So we do know that the formula is length times width. So we don't do length times length or width times width. Instead, you can choose like this or this way, whatever one you want to choose. But for me, I like to start with the top. So I do length times width equals 8 meters. So I start 8 meters. You can choose whatever you want. Times 4 meters. And that should give us, if we think about it, if we skip factor, we do 8. After that, 16, 24, and lastly, 32. So 32 meters. But wait, am I missing something? Because we're talking about area. Oh yes, we forgot about the squared. Never, ever, ever forget about the squared, or else you will get lower points on your test. The squared. It looks like a little 2. Every single time you have it, for example, our answer 32 meters squared. That little 2's on top of the metric measurement symbol. So the rectangles and squares aren't really the same. And why are the formulas different? Is because how their shapes are constructed are different. So when those are different, we obviously have to have different formulas. So example, if we have like a question that has square has 5 centimeters, we should obviously know that we're going to do 5 centimeters times 5 centimeters. But if we had a rectangle, and it said find the area for 30 centimeters, and the length and the width is 5 centimeters. We're not going to be saying, oh, it's 5 times 5, because that's a square's formula. A rectangle's formula is always length times width. And if we're actually given that question, for example, we have for a square, they're both parallel, and we have 5 centimeters up here. And they say that find the missing number that will help you get 25 centimeters squared. You're obviously going to do 25 divided by 5. This will give you 5. 5 times 5 equals 25. And we have our answer, which equals 0. So the answer for the missing numbers, so our side length or our length is equal to 5 centimeters. But if we have a question that says find the area, let me just make this a little longer. find the area, find the missing number. That'll give you 30 meters squared. Yeah, so put meters here. Okay, give you area 30 meters squared. We're not going to be saying, just divide by, it's just 5 because it's square, so look the same as a rectangle. It is not. They both have 4 sides. Yes, they're similar, but their side lengths are not equal. Trying to drill this into your head. So, when we come to solving, we're gonna do 30 divided by 5. And we should know that that is 6. And then 30 minus 30 equals 0. So, as usual, square, I have a couple words for you. Square isn't the same as a rectangle. We should know that right now. Formulas for square and rectangle. Review now. The formula for a square is, just pause it and maybe think about it for a few seconds, maybe write it in the comments, is length times length. You should know that. For a square. So this is for a square. Let me just fix this thing over here. For a rectangle. So rectangle's area. Rectangle. The area for that is length times not length, but width. Review. I'll just give you one more question to see if you've mastered it. Sally has a box that has has on her test a square that is 7 centimeters. It has 7 centimeters, and the side length is also 7 centimeters. Calculate the area for the square. Give me a few seconds, maybe pause the video, solve it. Okay, if you're done. So we said that the square is 7 centimeters for the length, and for the side length, or still same thing, length, is 7 centimeters. What is the area of this square? We need to find the area. Okay. So we know the formula. Formula is length times length. We know that they're both 7 centimeters times 7 centimeters. And you should know that we do skip counting or multiplication tables. 7 this times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is 21, 7 times 4 is 28, 7 times 5 is 35, 7 times 6 is 42, and 7 times 7 is 49. So the answer is 49 centimeters squared. Good. That's what you got. Good job. That's the answer. Now for a rectangle, we have length. So we have, if let's say that Oliver was trying to calculate the area for a rectangle on this test. The length is 9 and the width is 5. We say the length is 9 and the width is 5. So here's 5 here is 9. So we know that as the formula is equal to length times width equals to 9 centimeters times 5 centimeters. And that should be equal to, if you just go skip counting, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So the answer is 45 centimeters squared. So I'll be giving you some questions so you can solve by yourself. If you have any comments below, you can put your comments there. I'll put the questions up. So number 1 is a square. 6 centimeters. Not the best. 2, a rectangle. 2 centimeters and 7 centimeters. So for the third question, this time I gave you the area as 81 centimeters squared, and I gave you the width, which is 3 centimeters squared. What is the length? That is unknown. You're gonna try to solve for it, and I'll solve these questions in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. Au revoir. Bye.